When we speak of the Golan Heights, right, we speak of a landmass that you find in the Middle East. This specific landmass intercepts about three countries, right? Number one, it is Syria. Number two, it is Lebanon. Number three, it is Jordan. Now, when you measure the Golan Heights, right, when we look at its area, it is believed to be about 1,200 square kilometers in size, right? It is said that if you measure that landmass, right, from north to south, it is about 71 kilometers. And if you actually measure it from east to west, from their furthest points, it stands at about 43 kilometers. So it's really not a big piece of real estate, but it is a crucial piece of land that you find in the Middle East because of the basic altitude that the Golan Heights exists in, right? When you look at the Golan Heights in comparison to the rest of the region, the Golan Heights are at a slight higher altitude, right? So the Golan Heights are very strategic in regards to, let's say, the military, right? Because you would like to have higher ground as to watch your neighbors below the lands, right? So it is a very strategic military area that you find in the Middle East. It is also a political strategic area that you find in the Middle East because it is where a number of countries intercept, right? So you find a tri border, right? A border where a number of countries come together. And this is the place where about four countries meet in the Middle East. Now, during the Six-Day War, right, that occurred in June of 1967, right, Israel managed to take a whole lot of land from a number of Arab countries, right? Now, they managed to take a lot of land from Jordan, right? They also managed to take a lot of land that belonged to Syria, but land that belongs to Syria that you find in the Golan Heights, right? They also took a lot of land from Egypt, right? They took Sinai from Egypt all the way to the border of the Nile, right? All of this occurred in the Six-Day War in 1967. This is where Egypt increased its landmass to about triple the size that they were in 1948. Now, during 1973, the Arab states decided to start a Yom Kippur War to return the land which they had lost from Israel in 1967, right? This war valley is known as the Yom Kippur War or the Arab Israeli War that happened in 1973, right? But as we all know, as history turns out, that this was a dismal failure or dismal attempt from the Arab states to return their land because they didn't get anything back. They ended up signing a peace treaty to accept the borders as they are and for those borders to be guarded by the UN, right? The soldiers from India had been patrolling this area ever since this situation happened, and I believe they've handled it very well because not major fights have been happening since the 70s around this area. So big ups to the Indian soldiers that work for the UN. The Golan was eventually annexed by Israel in 1981, right? Which officially made it a real estate or a piece of land, right, that belonged to Israel. In 25 March of 2019, right, Trump basically officially recognized the Golan Heights as belonging to Israel, but this was rejected unanimously by nation members of the United Nations, right? Not recognizing the Golan Heights, right, as belonging to Israel.